Hi guys, thanks for coming back. Today I'm just going to be talking to you a little bit and I wanted to go over a few things, and I thought I'd tell you my story as to how I got into art in the first place, how it all began for me. Also, I have a couple announcements. So first of all, I'll do the announcements. I've been getting some video requests, and thank you. Keep them coming. I really appreciate the ideas. Some days it can be hard to come up with ideas, so just keep them coming. There are a few that I still need to get to. I need to do the video on brushes. Also, the one, somebody wanted to know about the brushes I use and what are my favorites. And then there was another about, the 12 to 16 most favorite or most used colors in my palette. I'll be doing that one soon. And then another person had been asking for some specific, very specific paintings. And I think I misunderstood the request. It was on the painting I showed you with the little boat and the willow tree, and there was a windmill in the background. That came from when I was first learning to paint. It was one of my first paintings, and it was out of one of those books. I believe they're by Terry Harrison that you can buy. They have an insert in them, and all you need to do is transfer the drawing onto paper, and then you can start painting. I did a lot of that early on when I was learning how to paint, because I wanted to focus on painting, not drawing. Then later I started to get into more of the drawing skills, which might be the reverse of how they teach you in art school. I have no clue because I don't have an art degree. But I will not repaint the same painting a second time, and I can't repaint a painting out of that book on camera. At least I'm not sure if I can. I would think that there could be some rules, or maybe even just unethical kind of rules, that I shouldn't be copying somebody else's work and painting it myself. So that's why I won't do it on camera. I just did that to learn, which is perfectly normal. That's why he sells the book. But anyway, so that's the answer to that. I will do a painting with boats, and I will do a painting on willow trees to show you how to do both. But I'm not going to do that same exact painting. I can even incorporate them together if you'd like, but it won't be that painting, just so you're aware. Let's see. The next announcement I have is yesterday I was so behind. I haven't even gotten through all my emails and my comments on YouTube yet, and I apologize. I normally get to them right away, but I had such a busy day yesterday, and I was exhausted because I had had no sleep the night before. And that is Doodle and Sketch. They have their new box for February coming out, and you can order them now if you're interested in ordering them. There are 3, and they give you hints at the top so that you know what you're ordering. You don't know what's in the box, but you know what it's about. They have one on markers this month, so if you love markers, you can get a marker box from them. They're a little more expensive, and because they're based in Russia, you do have to pay $15 in shipping, which is included in your cost when you transfer it. It's all written in rubles. They're all around 3,000 upward, which is anywhere from $50 to $60 plus tax and then shipping. So they can come out to roughly $79, which is what I paid this month. Then there's one on oil painting, and it's all about oils, and there's videos for each one of these, and you can be included in their contest. And then there's one on watercolors, which is the one I ordered. I was really stumped. I thought, should I get the oil one or the watercolor one? Now I use something sticky on my table, and I keep getting stuck on it. I ordered the watercolor one because I use water mixable oils, and I thought if they're going to send oils out to me, chances are they're going to send regular oils. And I wish that I would know that before I purchase, because I'd love to try some other water mixable oils. And I've been wanting to get into doing some oil painting lately, which I hope to do this weekend. And I don't know if you have any interest in that. if you are interested in oil painting at all or water mixable oils, let me know, and I will do videos on that as well, because they are a lot of fun. And let's see. Oh, the other thing about Doodle and Sketch. I received this email from them yesterday. It said, "We hope that you're doing fine." And I thought, oh, well, that's nice of them. They're so sweet, these people. And apparently, I don't know if they do a search on YouTube for reviews for Doodle and Sketch, but they loved my review on Doodle and Sketch and said that this month, because of my review, they're putting in an extra gift into my box, which I thought was really nice. They said extra surprises and gifts or something. And I thought, oh, that's so sweet of them. Then they said, if you do any further reviews, please let us know. We would like to offer you a discounted price in order to do these reviews. And I thought, wow. I said, okay, that sounds great to me. So I will be getting a discounted price in the future. I did pay full price last month and this month. And it's not a lot. It's not like they're taking half off or anything like that, but it's all helpful. And they did say that if I'm doing reviews on them, they'll give me the discount. So I thank them. And they are aware that I'm going to be doing honest reviews. Always 100% honest, regardless. And if they stopped giving me the discount, I would still be doing them. So it's not a big deal. Although it's so hard because it's expensive. And I kept saying, should I do it this month? Shouldn't I do it this month? And when I saw watercolor, I thought, oh shoot, I got to do it this month. So I'm doing it this month. So now on to me. I'm sorry, I'm playing with one of these erasers and I squish it and then I roll it. And okay, so this brings me to the third topic, and that is my health. I am perfectly fine. You guys were asking about my health, and I did have doctor's appointments yesterday. It was nothing serious, just a follow-up. My pneumonia was cleared up, but my sinuses and ear infections were not cleared up, so now I'm on very high-dose antibiotics to try and clear me up. I have no immunity, as y'all know. I've been on medications for an autoimmune disease, which is called ankylosing spondylitis. I wasn't diagnosed until about 2012. I went on disability in 2011. I could not go back to work, and the reason for that was my level of chronic pain and requiring narcotic intervention to control my pain so that I could have a life. It was that, or I'd probably be suicidal because it's so bad. And those of you who have a lot of pain with ankylosing spondylitis can understand that it's a horrible disease. And it is not, even though it's more common than many diseases out there, MS, there's 3 diseases I forget that they include in it that are very well known by the public, but ours is more common. And even with it being common, only 1% of the population has it, but that is growing, I think. Anyway, I had to go on disability in 2011. My symptoms started as a child and went away, and the doctor said they were growing pains, which is a common misconception in this disease. Then it came back in 2005 after I was going through some problems in my family life, and the stress brought on my autoimmune disease. And so I went for almost 7 years further without a diagnosis. And anyway, I actually started in 2003, so it was 9 years, I think. And then finally finding out what the problem was. And since then, I have been diagnosed with other problems. One of them, adrenal insufficiency, which is, if you've heard of Addison's disease, that's another name for one of the causes of it. But it's the lack of stress hormone in your body. And it will lead to other autoimmune problems because you don't have stress hormone and your body can't handle stress. That means emotional stress, physical stress, any kind of stress. And it can be fatal when you don't have cortisol in your body. So I take steroids every day in order to mimic stress hormone so that I can survive. Otherwise, you can go into shock and die. So when I get sick, I have to increase my steroids. That makes my illnesses worse. It's just a snowball effect of problems, but that's my life. So that's what I deal with. And I'm fine, so don't feel sorry for me or anything like that. I'm cool. But anyway, then I just had another appointment for my PTSD problem that is related to surgery that I had on my neck in 2014, and now it's gone into full-blown phobia, which I've never had in my life. Never had any of these problems. And I have great compassion for people who go through these now, because it is crippling. It is seriously crippling. And I always considered myself to be a strong person, but strong people can have these problems too. So anyway, that's it about my health, but that leads into why I got into art, or when I got into art. I started into art when I was forced onto disability in 2011 and took a watercolor class at a local college. It was like an hour and a half. You go in, you paint. There was a lot of self-taught work. Well, you'd be working as a group, but we'd be working on different things sometimes. And it was a good class. I learned a lot. I didn't take art when I was growing up because I was involved in music. I played clarinet and was in the marching band. I also sang in an audition-only a cappella choir. I was in concert bands, so there was no room for art in my schedule. I had one art class in 10th grade, and then I had one more art class in my senior year, which was a jewelry and metals class. And I said later that I had gotten into jewelry making and was trying to make a business out of that. And that was before I was put on long-term disability. And I found that it just wasn't filling my tank. I needed something different. I still make jewelry. I make different items of jewelry, but I don't do that every day. I got into painting after taking the watercolor class. I really enjoyed it. I was doing that, and then decided I was following an artist online. Her name is Carrie Evanson, and she did an online journal on Facebook where she used YouTube videos for prompts with a little story, and then we as a group, worked together on these journals. And I realized that I couldn't draw at all. It was pretty hideous. It was really bad. So I decided I needed to learn how to draw, and I started focusing a little more on drawing. I was doing acrylic painting. I then took an intuitive painting class from Flora Boley, another artist, online. And then I joined artistnetwork.tv, which is excellent. I think you pay like $200 a year, and they have literally over 600 art instruction videos that you can learn from. And I took a lot of those classes, and I still keep up to date on it, and I still take classes from them. It's a great resource. I also took Craftsy classes online, and those are good too. A lot of them, some of them, not so much, but I learned a lot on sketching and all of that. And that's how I got into the urban sketching thing. So through that, it just kind of snowballed and grew, and I've been involved in art ever since. I made myself do something every single day, some sort of art every day. If it was acrylic painting, oil painting, watercolor, pastel, that was another thing. Later I got into pastel about a year and a half ago. Probably, a year and a half maybe. Or maybe it's been almost 2 years now. I love pastels, and I had taken a Craftsy class that was a mixed media, introducing pastels into the mixed media course. And I thought, oh my gosh, I love this. And so I started working on teaching myself pastel, and decided to locate an artist in the area. And I found an award-winning artist, beautiful working artist. Sharon Will is her name, W-I-L-L. You can Google her work. It is absolutely gorgeous. And she also used water mixable oils, which is what I used, and we used the same brand. So I was taking pastel classes from her in the hopes of moving on to oils later. And my dog had an injury and needed neck surgery about 1 year, almost to the day, of my neck surgery. And he went through hell, and it was very expensive. Cost me a ton of money. You guys would gasp if you heard how much I spent on it. And in doing that, I had to drop my art private art instruction. I couldn't afford to do both. So I've since got that paid off, and my dog is doing well, and all is well with that. So that's my whole art thing. But in going on disability, I needed to find something to keep my sanity. And I'm a knitter. I was knitting for a while, and that was fine. But who wants to knit in the summer heat? You know, I wasn't going to do that either. So I decided to take up the painting. So that's where I'm at with that. And I can tell you a little more about how I lost my job and all of that in another video. But anyway, I just wanted to update you all. I'm doing fine. I'm on the antibiotics. Everything's cool. So, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to do a painting with you guys and get back on track. So everybody have a great day, and either give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever you prefer. Those really do help me a lot. And if you'd like to comment down below, if you have video ideas or anything else you want to share, just let me know and I will keep in touch. So have a great day and be kind to people. Bye.